Hello everyone, welcome to my ship review video. This is the first ship review that I made for Star Citizen, and I'm going to present to you guys the Aegis Sabre. Now, the reason why I started the video like this is I want to show you first of all the size of the ship, because in general when you buy a ship you don't know the size of it because they're not all display, so you can see the size of the ship. So this is the Aegis Sabre. This is a stealth fighter. So let me switch back here. So let me give you like a review of the ship. So this is the back of it. You only this is a one seat fighter ship, so you cannot enter the ship from anywhere else besides the cockpit. Okay, so let me go into the ship. Alright, and let's start with what we have. So first things first, the ship comes with 4 weapon size 3 weapons and 3 size 1 shield generator hard points. Now for those of you that just started to play Star Citizen and you don't know what it means, make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. Basically this is a ship that is very good for destroying smaller ships, right? So something like the Anvil, Arrow, the Warlock, the Aegis Warlock, or anything that is a small size light fighter. Question is, why it's called a stealth fighter? Well, because in the game, in order for you to target an opponent, it has to be like in a range close to you in order for you to target. The stealth fighter, compared to the other ships, is basically you can get close enough or relatively close to the target without him or her targeting you. So that's the whole point of having a stealth fighter in the game. So you can get close to it, and then when you're in the range, you can either start shooting missiles or shooting your weapons. But that's the whole point of having a stealth fighter. Now, there are certain things that you guys need to kind of like understand about this ship, is that even though this is a stealth fighter, it's a very good ship for combat. It's also, let's say, a little bit squishy. It's not that squishy, but basically you kind of like need to be, you need to have like a different strategy when operating a ship like a stealth fighter. So it's not like the actual fighter, where you can have like bigger size shield generators, or even the armor of the ship is a little bit stronger. This one, it's, let's say, from a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably like around 3.5, compared to other light ships that are probably like 5 or 6. So you have to take in consideration that taking damage with this ship, you kind of like need to be a little bit, let's say, dynamic when using this ship. And one of the other things that needs to be mentioned is that even though it has 4 size weapons, you kind of like need to be on point with the shooting. The thing is that you do want to get in a crosshair of this ship, because it can do a lot of damage due to the high RPM of the weapons, and also it has 4 weapons. So you have to take in consideration that being in front of this ship is not a good day for you. Now, other things that are related to this ship, let's say, for example, one of the things that I found, that I find that is kind of like a little bit, let's say, not so good, is the cockpit situation. So right in the cockpit, some of the ships, you can actually press a button or hold the Y button by default to get out of the ship. this ship, if you press the F, you can actually open the cockpit. So you can see right here, it's highlighted. So basically when this thing is highlighted, that means that you can actually press and it will open. Now, the sad part is that you cannot close it like this. So going back into the ship. Alright. So that's kind of like the minus of it. That's one of the things that I didn't like. The reason why is because it's simple. For example, if you look here at the HUD, sometimes you kind of like need to adjust something, and if you click by mistake, you can open the ship cockpit, and you don't want to do this during a fight. So that's kind of like the minus of it. Now the plus of it for the Sabre is that this is a view, so you can see basically anything around you. That's one of the plus that I like about this ship, is to have like the more visibility. Like some ships are kind of like, say this is the issue, so it needs to be somewhere around here. If you have like the open pilot canopy, that would be good, but this right here, it doesn't matter where you click it. If you highlight this one, you can actually select. So that's kind of like minus of it. But the cockpit in itself is actually good because you can see left to right. You can check up during the fights, or even when you're searching for something. So it's very good in my opinion. That's kind of like the plus of it. Now other things about the ship. Basically the ship, like I said, comes with 4 weapon size 3 weapons, can be changed also. But you have to take in consideration why are you buying this ship, because a lot of people are saying like, if you want to buy a ship, why are you buying this? Basically this is because of the, let's say, the class that the weapon that the ship has, the stealth fighter. You can actually go and start be kind of like the first person who actually start the fights, or the last person who actually start the fights. What do I mean by this is basically you can have like friends that will go and start charging the enemies, and you can come from the side and start shooting them, or you can start the first, be the first one that actually goes in, like more like a scout, but a scout that actually starts the fight. So that's the point of having a stealth fighter. The second point that related to this ship is that the flying capability, it's actually good in my opinion. Like the way that how easily you can fly this ship. It's you don't have like any issues of it, right? So it's very good also with speed, also with quantum drive. So you can go from microtech to, let's say, a Crusader with one jump. Obviously this is a stealth fighter, so you cannot kind of like do old stantum without any refueling. So you have to take this in consideration, that you need to refuel from time to time. But the quantum drive is good, the speed is actually good for this ship, and also the handling as well. When it comes to fighting, you kind of like need to have like an idea on how to fight against other ships. So you kind of like need to do some practice with this ship in the beginning. But once you get good at it, you will see that it will pay off on the long run. In my opinion, this is a good ship. It's very good to have it in your arsenal. So yeah, and also it's not that expensive. In my opinion, I think that this is kind of like a very easy ship to acquire, because it's not that expensive. Like, for example, the Vanguard. But obviously, the Vanguard, it's a heavy fighter. This is more like a light fighter compared to the Vanguard. But also, it's very important to take in consideration that this is a good piece to have, especially if you play with multiple players. It's a good idea to have this ship among the other ships, so you can have like a different dynamic when you attack either AIs or different players. So yeah, I'll probably say like this is mostly about this ship. Other things that I missed, maybe you guys can leave it in the comment. Like the video if you find it useful. Also subscribe to the channel because I'm going to bring more videos like this. And in the end, I want you guys to have like a quick view on how the ship handles during the fight. So I prepared a little short clip for you guys so you can see how this ship actually does in a fight. So yeah, until then, stay safe and see you next time.